So let's talk about the physical skill sets that you might want to teach in basketball. The content, teach them basic skills, right? And again, these are the most common ones that I teach and that I see in major programs, good skilled programs. Baylor University, I'm at UConn, the Lakers. I had a chance to really get tight with a guy named Phil Handy, and he's a friend now. And so, basic skills that are constantly worked at every level. Watching Kobe, being around Kobe, he worked on this stuff. Had a chance to train Vince Carter, Kevin Durant. Like, they do this stuff. In the NBA, it's amazing. You got extraordinary talent that works on elementary skills. But dribbling, driving, all right, can you see? Okay, driving. When I say downhill, right, it's to the rim. When I say uphill, again, this is just being clear in my terminology and owning my information. It's uphill is DHO, dribble handoff, or downhill and then uphill is a retreat dribble. So that's what I mean by that terminology. And again, if I'm being too elementary, I apologize. I can gear it up here for the next talk if you want and really talk about some, pro college lingo. But this it's amazing the simplicity and the consistency that these great players and coaches have. Finishing 1 and 2 feet, right? You got about 5 different ways you can finish off 1 foot: quick step, slow step, Euro step, 1 step, right? And then you got 2 feet finishes, jump hook, step through, step around, drop step, spin. I teach my players how to catch with 1 and 2 hands, using their body as a second hand. If they got 1 hand catch, they can use their body as a hand. And when they're ready, I teach them how to pass off 1 and 2 hands. And it's shooting. You got to teach them moves. You got to teach them moves. So you're teaching them a move and a counter, off the cut, off the bounce, off the catch, off the finish, right? Off the cut. So that's with a screen and without a screen. That's respacing. You got to teach them a move and a so, for example, off the cut. Well, coach, how do you get a counter off space? Well, right? Drive, space. If the defender, his back's turned, right, they might cut. They might come here and then eventually cut. Or 2's here. 1 drives. X2's back is turned. They might cut to the rim. But my point is, you got to teach them a move and a counter off the cut, off the bounce. That's dribble moves. Off the catch. That's a triple threat. Just a move and a counter. And then off the finish. We talked about 1 foot, 2 foot finish. You got to teach them team concepts, right? How to play the game. So one part of that is ball movement. Another part of that is player movement. Another part of that is screening. Another part of that is spacing. And the last one is, another part of that is drive and kick. Those are all the team concepts and all the drills that you put into your curriculum that you're going to teach throughout the year. Or, maybe you only get a player for a month. And I'm not saying that you can teach everything in a month, depending on how many workouts you're going to have. But that's exactly what the player needs to learn in any system. So, I've developed my philosophy to where whatever player, I don't care what kind of player, what kind of system a player is going to play in, if I get them, I can adapt the drills and the concepts and the terminology so that they're ready to go back and be successful in their program. So what's your plan? Well, you got to have a compass, right? You got to have a direction. And so I have in my curriculum everything that a beginner, and again, my terminology is beginners are 8 to 11. this is flexible for you, obviously. But again, I've been to 48 countries, and when I developed this checklist, I had been to like 40 countries. Brett Coxhead, one of your countrymen, has given me a lot of good ideas and data on this age group. But anytime that I have a kid, I go make sure that I'm doing developmentally appropriate drills. Like at 16, an elite kid should do this, this, and this. All right. Now, obviously, I get a lot of 15-year-olds that are playing on a beginner level. But again, this gives you a compass so that you're more organized and you're more efficient. You don't waste time trying to figure out, well, what does a pro really need? I have a video curriculum that has PDFs and videos, and we have over 1,200 drills that can help you train the following categories there. I think Jared gave you the list, but if you contact us and use the code, you can get 50% off that regular price. So that's a pretty good deal. One of my favorite people that I've ever spent time with was Penny Hardaway there, coach at Memphis. How do you build it, right? Obviously, you got to do individual workouts. You got to do group workouts. You got to do position specific, meaning you got to work guards, and then sometimes you got to work with bigs. Then you got to do combo work. Then you got to mix it up and put all of them together. So, make sure that you have a good balance of doing all of those. One of my favorite players that ever worked out was Maya Moore. That's her and I working out. Unbelievable. But, your workout goals are really simple. Again, non-negotiables here, man. Non-negotiables. They come to you, even if it's Maya Moore, who's tough. She knows a lot. You want to get them to learn, right? You want to get them to work hard. You want to get them to have fun. You want to get them to compete. You want to get them to learn how to play with a teammate. So during the workout, Maya's high-fiving me. Maya's telling me good pass. So I didn't have to tell her that because she's a pro. But if it's just you and a kid, like you're the teammate. How is her conversational drill? A lot of you guys have a partner or are married or have a boyfriend or girlfriend. And if you don't, the coronavirus is a great time to go on a dating app and get to know somebody, but you weren't meant to be alone and isolated. There has to be reciprocity in relationships. So if I give you unforgiveness, you should give me even more. If I give you love, you should give it right back. And that's what we need especially in China. But everywhere I go in the world, when I'm working with kids 12 to 19, they have a hard time talking and touching in workouts. They have a hard time relating to each other, celebrating each other, holding each other accountable. And again, it's hard. So, that's something that coaches forget a lot about. Teach them how to play with a teammate, right? Which means talking, engaging, interacting, playing off of. Drills must be game applicable, game skill, game's concept. And then, look, once you get the reps, give them the reads. So me and Maya, we're working on shooting, spot shots, cut, catch, shoot. And then that drill there, now she's shooting against a closeout defender. She's getting reads. So get reps and get reads.